practice then Vipassana meditation unsatisfactoriness. Ready?
Yes. Right. Yeah, I'm going to mute everybody now,
Okay.
including.
Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to our Sunday meditation session.
Bante, we cannot hear you.
Give me a second.
Unmute.
Yeah, I wonder to here. I'm here.
Unmute yourself.
Yes. Okay, good morning and welcome to Sunday morning meditation. Today we are going to practice Vipassana meditation. We're going to practice understanding unsatisfactoriness. So you may gently close your eyes and sit down comfortably and take deep breath and slowly let go and relax. Listen the bell, relax into the sound. To practice Vipassana is the way to enlightenment, or develop wisdom, understanding reality and true nature, the things as they really are. So now we are going to practice on Vipassana meditation. It's a wonderful meditation practice. This practice keeps you always happy and peaceful. It's never bring to you stress, depression, anxiety. It's keep you awake and enlightened. So take deep breath and slowly let go. Focus your top of the head and relax your head. And your face, shoulders, and relax your arms, chest and stomach, legs and feet. Now you simply try to meditate on suffering, pain, unsatisfactoriness. You simply try to understand, do I have suffering or pain or unsatisfactoriness? Or I was always happy, peaceful or satisfied? And I am happy, peaceful and satisfied. And I will be. And use your whole life experiences you had so far to understand what you had in this life. You may simply open your mind, your wisdom, to reveal the reality of the life. Impermanent is true, unsatisfactoriness is too, and non-self is too. These all are true, but it was kind of hiding. It is kind of away from our understanding, realizing. So you open your mind and heart and your wisdom to reveal it, to realize it. So you may simply realize from the birth until to now, we satisfied our hungry, our thirsty, and we will do until to death. Sometimes we will die with hungry and thirsty. So whatever pleasure and happiness we had through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, it's look like so satisfying, hungry or thirsty. But these all are impermanent, subject to change and will perish. So what is the satisfaction? You may arise your intuition, your understanding, wisdom, your panya. Your panya is the wisdom. Use your wisdom, your intuition to understand the reality, the true nature of these senses, internal and external senses. Everything is impermanent, subject to change, and will perish. So, then whatever I have, happiness and pleasure, suffering and pain, are impermanent too. The reality is the maintaining these things and dealing with these things is difficult. Then we attach to the happiness and pleasure. That attachment brings us stress and pain. The reality and true nature is unsatisfactoriness. There is a freedom and liberation from the unsatisfactoriness. To free from it, we have to understand and realize of the danger of this attachment to the happiness and pleasure, to the satisfaction. Detachment is the freedom, that is the peace, this is the happiness forever. Detachment, not craving, not clinging, not grasping, not being thirst and hungry for that pleasure. There is always very higher happiness, excellent, highest happiness is freedom. Highest happiness is liberation. deliverance, emancipation, the happiness we attach so much is very gross, rough, and heavy, burden, stress is always subject to pain and suffering. So detachment will keep us always happy and satisfied. Detachment, liberation, freedom from craving, grasping, and attachment. So that is the peace. We simply always indulge and attach and hang on the pleasure we had, not the pain and suffering or unsatisfactoriness we had. So in this meditation, we pay attention and be mindful and be aware to understand and realize pain, suffering, and unsatisfactoriness. So strong craving is a strong suffering. Less craving is less suffering. No craving, no suffering. Strong attachment is strong suffering. Less attachment is less suffering. No attachment, no suffering. The same thing, strong hate, strong pain. Less hate, less pain. No hate, no pain. The, the more and strong ignorance is more suffering. Less ignorance is less suffering. No ignorance is no suffering. So there's a happiness, is peace, is always beyond of that attachment, craving, and clinging, and grasping, and desires. So to release mind from that gross, rough, stressful, the pleasure we are seeking. So the focus on the detachment, not craving, releasing, freedom. That's what Buddha had, and all the Arahant had. Peace, happiness. So keep a smile on your face, then imagine the liberation, freedom, and detachment. So enjoy the happiness and peace that we have from liberation, freedom, and detachment. whatever attachment we have and you have, and make them less, then enjoy the peace. Imagine now you have a less attachment, less craving, not gross and strong. You have a less and light attachment and craving. So now you have less pain and now you're happy and peaceful. Then enjoy the peace and happiness come through the detachment. In this meditation session, and you're going to be kind of free from that, all the attachment. And enjoy in these few minutes. You are completely freed from all the attachment. Imagine, and you're freed, you're liberated. See how peaceful it is. Attachment and craving always come with pain and suffering and stress, like hungry and thirsty. So, freed from hunger is peaceful and happiness. Freed from thirst is happiness and peace. So you may imagine you have freed from hungry and thirsty. Now you're more peaceful. That craving for things, to thirst, whatever is burden, heavy, stress, rough and gross. So you may have peaceful, liberated, kind of liberated mind in this moment. Now you're so much comfortable and peaceful. Okay, now I ring the bell. You Come back to the sound of the bell. Now slowly open your eyes. Okay. So you can take a break for a few minutes. So yeah, stretch out, stretch out.
Mhm.
Peter, please let the light stand on the light. Yeah. Yeah, just yeah. Yeah. Hi. Good morning. How are you? Okay. This baby is so good. She's meditate very well. How old are you? How old are you? 4, 5, 4, 4. Oh, you're 4 years baby. Meditate very well. Very good. Hi. Thank you for coming. Yeah, thank I. So, do you have any question about the meditation or who is the new participant?
Monday,
Yes, yes.
I couldn't hear the bell. I think that you have to press this. There's a button in the upper left, original sound for musicians. You have to turn that on, otherwise we can't hear the bell.
Oh.
Oh,
Where is that?
It should be in the top left of your screen. It says original sound for musicians.
I'm going to try to find it myself. Let's see. Original sound for musicians.
It doesn't show up at all unless you enable it in settings. It's updated.
Oh, that's interesting.
But by default, it doesn't show.
Oh, so go to settings. You have to go to the website to do that, right?
No, in the Zoom client, you can go to settings audio, but it's a lot of work to hear a bell. But
isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I have the same problem.
Okay, you imagine you are hearing sound and relax into that your imagination, the sound. So the who is here and they can we can hear that Michael's one.
You can?
Yeah,
How
everybody
about
can.
I mean, sort of the Zoom client by default will try and optimize for voice.
how's
It
that?
doesn't do very well on other sounds.
Can you hear that?
No,
Not really.
That's interesting because that one is much louder. Now the third one, this is the same bell with different wands, see?
No.
Isn't that interesting? They got progressively louder and also progressively higher pitched. So the thing is, we need to have the lower pitch, the lower pitch.
Yeah, we can hear that.
Yeah, that's the lower pitch. That's very interesting. Yeah. That particular bell is from the 1700s, and this one is from the 1300s. So this one is 700 years old. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I always have that problem with bells. Oh, shit. There. Oh, yeah, I always have that problem. I think people can hear it, but nobody can hear it. So that's the lesson. Okay, I'm going to try to go into the Zoom client and see if I can get the musician thing optimized. Music.
Hi,
How interesting.
hi, Steve. Welcome,
Steve.
Steve. Welcome to meditation.
Thank you.
Yeah, the discussion. Who is the new participants we have today?
Um,
God, Nick Priyu.
hmm.
Are
Hi,
you?
Bhante.
Yeah. You have been here. Jing Li.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hi. Oh, this is Soa.
Oh, here comes. Mm-hmm.
Introduce yourself if you are a new participant. Lillian, Leonte.
Mm.
Yes, hello, Bhante.
Hi. This your first time?
Yes,
Okay, where are you from?
I am from Romania, from Eastern Europe.
Romania?
Oh,
Oh, in Europe. Okay, how did you get this?
Well, I became interested in Buddhism and I found this site. Actually, I found it through Bhikkhu Bodhi, but I decided to participate in this meditation course as well.
Okay, well, you are very welcome to the group. So, Jingli, where are
Thank
you?
you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm in Hong Kong.
You are from Hong Kong.
I'm not from Hong Kong. I'm in Hong Kong.
Oh, this is
you're in
Jingli.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, so long. After
Yeah.
long time. Yeah,
Long
how
time
are you
no
doing?
see. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Very good, very good. Yeah,
Good to see you.
welcome to our group. Say again.
Good to see you here.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for offering this class.
Did you finish your PhD?
Almost, not yet.
Okay. 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 I hope you do very well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I hope I will visit the temple soon again.
Yeah. Anytime.
Hello. How many people came to the temple today?
We have several of.
You have a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
You have a child in the group.
Yeah, we have a new participants, several new participants, 4-year baby. She's meditate very well.
Excellent.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the time to start. Oh, yes.
So, you ready?
Sure.
That's what we have the new participants today. Okay, very good. Then let's go to.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Screen. There. Wait. There we go.
No, this, we have to turn off one of switch. This yes, take the air.
Is this the correct Sutta Bhante? Is this right?
Let me see.
44.
Yes, debating hall.
Yay, I did it right.
Yeah.
3 chairs for me.
The button, the switch of the button, keep it doing. Keep pressing. Not yet. Not yet. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, worthy one and fully enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today we're going to learn a very beautiful sutta. In this sutta, Buddha explaining how we move to next life, how it is happen, how we move, how sentient beings move to our next birth. This sutta is very short. In the ancient time, in the Buddha's time in India, there was a hall, and that's called debating hall, kutuhalasala. Kutuhala means the people with doubting many things, and they get together that hall, and many teachers in the Buddha's time, there are many, many teachers. And they declare themselves, I'm a teacher, and they have their own students, and they keep wondering and debating each other. There's competition each other by debating many things. So, and they get together into that hall and keep debating and explaining their teachings. And there was the wanderer. Wanderer is one of a set of practitioners, and they keep wondering and debating and arguing and questioning about the teachers and wise ones. And his name is Vacha. There are several suttas actually. Many suttas. The Vacha, he's come to Buddha and went to Ananda, went to Sabhyakachana, and went to Sariputta, and he went to many disciples of the Buddha's time and keep asking his things. What is curious and make his doubting. Then once he came to Buddha, and we bowed to Buddha and sat to one side, and they had the courteous conversation. Then after that, and he said to Buddha, dear sir, they are in the kutuhalasala, and the many teachers get together and they explaining uh, they are disciples who is very ordinary disciples, and after their death and where they have born, and they teachers, those teachers keep declaring, and he was born there, and he was born there, and he mentioned in that. And also those teachers have excellent and supreme students who have attained to higher position, higher status of development of the mind and wisdom. And they also keep saying those very special, very knowledgeable, very supreme disciples also have born there and have born there after their death. And he mentioned the name of those teachers in the ancient time. There was very famous 6 teachers called Purana Kassapa, Makkali Gosala, Ajita Kesakambali, Pakuda Kachayana, Sanjay Bellatiputta, and Nigantanataputta. Those are the very famous teachers, and he explained in those teachers keep explaining that way. What is the way? The disciples who passed away and have born there and there. And those very supreme, spiritual, higher knowledgeable, highest wisdom who achieve that highest wisdom, and they also have born and born there after their death. But his question is, why Buddha yourself, you also explaining after your disciples' death and they have born there and born there. But in your supreme students, highest, who have achieved the highest wisdom, why you don't telling about them they have born there instead of that you just said and they cut off craving and freed from attachment and they just enlighten and they just cease. You understand the question?
Yes.
Yeah. The Buddha's different from the other teachers. Okay, listen again. Other teachers says after their disciples passed away, they born there. Even after supreme disciples passed away and they born there, and they explain that. But Buddha just only may declare the rebirth onto the ordinary disciples, but not to the enlightened ones. Got it? To the enlightened one, what Buddha says, they cut off craving and detach from the attachment and they freed and they cease. Okay. Then he said, I have a doubt about that. Then Buddha said, that's right. You doubted on the right point. You are doubted on the right there. You have to doubt about it. Your doubt is correct. You have to doubt it about it. Yes. And Buddha accepted that is doubted. And Buddha just said, yes, I declare the rebirth and next birth where have they born to the ordinary people and who has attachment and craving and hate, ignorance, and all those kind of things. But those who freed from attachment, craving, and hate and ignorance, there are nothing to declare about where they have born. They freed, they cease. And then Buddha said here it's a very special formula actually. Saupadana sakwahang vacha uppatim panyapemino Anupadanas. I only declare the rebirth, next birth, who have full, who have grasping, who have clinging. I only declare the rebirth, those who have clinging and a fool, okay? You know, fool, okay? But not for those who know have full, but no for those who know have clinging and grasping. Got it? Okay, very good.
Yep.
Very good. Now Buddha said, then Vacha asking question. And Buddha said a simile. Okay, this is the simile for that. Then you can understand clearly with this simile. And there is uh, the fire. Okay. Then fire keep burning. Why fire is burning? Because of fuel. Right? Fire is
Right.
burning because of fuel.
Fuel.
Fuel. Okay. Fuel. Okay. Say again, Michael.
Fuel.
Fuel. Okay. Fire is burning because of fuel. These lights bulbs are lighting. Why it is lighting? It is not fuel, maybe it is current. It is current.
Mhm.
A lamp, this candle,
Mhm.
it is still burning. The candle is burning. Why? Fuel. What's the fuel? The wax?
Mhm.
Yeah, wax is the fuel. Then keep it burning. And the wick.
But it-
Cars, buses, vehicles, airplanes running.
mm,
Airplanes flying, cars are running. Why? Why? Because of because of fuel.
that's right. Gasoline,
Gasoline, yes,
petrol.
yes. Petrol, diesel, super diesel,
Mm,
super petrol, whatever. Um, then the fire just only burning because of uh, fuel. That's dry woods. Then we keep burning dry woods and it's keep burning.
mm,
Okay, this because of the dry wood is the fuel for the fire, right? Without fuel, no fire. No fuel, no fire, no fire.
mm,
Then Buddha said, "Who is have clinging and attachment of fuel, and I declare to them about birth, but who no have fuel or clinging or grasping, it's nothing to declare about their rebirth."
mm,
It's clear, right? With fuel, have fire. No fuel, no fire. With clinging, have rebirth. No clinging, no rebirth. It's very clear. Then the Vacha asking another question. Okay, Bante, I have seen, we can see the fire, the go up, go a little far. Sometimes fire go up, go far. Then what is the fuel for that fire to go far, go higher? And Buddha said, in that moment, to
mm,
fire, the fuel to that fire is the air or
mm,
wind, right? Air or wind. Then
mm,
we burn the dry woods, then fire. That's for the fire is the dry wood is the fuel.
mm,
But we can see fire go up little far, further higher. In that
mhm,
moment, to that fire is a fuel, not the wood, it's the air, right? And Buddha said,
mm,
in that moment, air is the fuel to that fire. You got it? You see the wind taking the fire here and there and up.
mm,
I saw once in the video a hurricane. Hurricane keep turning, and it came to the fire. The fire.
mm,
Then I saw the fire go up, like it's going up. Then in that moment, to fire is the fuel for that fire is not the wood, it's the
mm,
air.
yeah,
It's the air. So then
mm,
Buddha said, then he asking he asked another question. Okay, this is very important. Then someone died, laid down his body. He is
mm,
not yet to born. He's not yet have born.
mm,
In that moment, to consciousness, what is the fuel?
mm,
Then someone died, not yet born. There's an intermediate state, right? There's a gap.
mm,
There's a gap between the death and birth. In the Theravada tradition, not believing in the gap of the birth, death, and birth.
mm,
It is right according to Abhidhamma. But in this moment, the consciousness is it never stops, it keep going. But there's a gap of the birth. Consciousness is always keep going. It's never stop. But the birth, there's a gap between the birth and death. So then his question is, then someone died but not yet have born, and then consciousness. What's the reason to consciousness to exist? What's the reason to consciousness to stay? And Buddha said, in that moment, I say the craving, tanha, craving is the fuel to consciousness. You understand?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, very good. Do you remember? We learned the dependent origination. We learned tanha pachya. What is the tanha pachya? Upadanam. A dependence on craving, a clinging, or dependence on craving, grasping, right? Then someone died, but not yet born, but consciousness have a gap. There's a gap. No, died already, but not yet born. Then consciousness move with craving. That consciousness to exist is a fuel, is craving, desire, attachment. So how could we understand this? That craving, Buddha's explanation, that craving looks like the wax to this fire, right? To wax to this fire. Then no wax, then fire going to cease. Then consciousness is not going to cease. Why? It still have the fuel. We give fuel. We keep giving a fuel. What's the fuel to consciousness? It's a craving. There's a three types of craving. Craving for sensual pleasure. And we're not freed yet from the craving for sensual pleasure. Then consciousness have fuel. Also the craving for existence. We have a craving to exist forever in heaven or somewhere. So then still consciousness exists because we have a craving to exist. Right? And then the craving for non-existence. That's another craving for non-existence. It is also craving. Then the consciousness have fuel to exist. Then craving is not freed. Craving is not freed from craving, attachment. We attach to sensual pleasures and we attach to existence, right? Then consciousness have fuel. You see? Consciousness have fuel to exist. Then if you're not craving for sensual pleasures, if we freed from that craving to sensual pleasures, and we do not have that fuel, if we freed from craving for existence, we do not more craving to existence. If we freed from it, then that we do not have that fuel either. And if we freed from the craving for non-existence, then we freed from it, then no craving at all. Then consciousness, no fuel to consciousness. Then consciousness going to cease. Look like what? Look like this flame of the candle, right? Then wax going to finish. Then fire going to cease. A wick going to burn out. Then fire going to cease. Then no fuel, no fire. And Buddha gave a simile in the Upadana Sutta. And Buddha said the people collecting woods and making a higher heap of wood. Gather a wood, collecting wood together, very dry wood, very high heap of wood, and they burn it. then it is burning. There are some people and collecting other dry woods and dry grasses and they put into that fire. What happened? It keep burning. It keep burning. Why it is keep burning? Because we adding a fuel to that fire. We giving fuel to that fire. Actually, food to fire. Food is dry grasses, dry wood. Then fire is not ceasing because we adding more and more dry. Uh, we adding food. Then fire keep burning. Then fire exists. When that, if someone not adding any dry grasses, any dry woods, any food to that, what's going to happen? The fire going to burn out. It's going to cease. No food to that fire. And Buddha says his consciousness also like that, right? Consciousness also keep growing. And Buddha said one, Kabalikare che bhikkhave attirago attinandi attitanna attitatta tanha patititan tatta vijnanam virulham. When Buddha said when we have attachment, rago, and nandi, happiness, and tanha, craving, for the pleasure we have. Actually, in this Attiraga Sutta, Buddha explaining four types of food. First food called Kabalikara Ahara. Kabalikara Ahara means food we eat every day, gross food. And second food is Pasahar. Pasahar means the food of contact. Contact. Anyone remember what is that contact is?
The eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, all the six senses according with their respective consciousness.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, very good. It is the eye form. When I meet form, then I consciousness arise. Right? And these three together call contact. Right? When I meet a form, I consciousness arise, then we have a contact. When we have that contact, then feeling arise. Feeling doesn't arise without consciousness, right? We can see the dead bodies. They don't have consciousness. They have feeling. They have eye open. They can see the forms, but no consciousness, right? Then they don't have any feelings. So the feeling arises because of contact. We have to have a consciousness with that. Even the ear have a sound, maybe sound come into ear, but no consciousness. When we have consciousness, then we have a contact. When we have contact, then we have feeling. When we have feeling, we craving. When we craving, we grasping, clinging, attach, right? So Buddha said this food, the food we eat is a one of food. The other food is a contact, and the third one called mano sanchetana. Mano sanchetana is a food called volitional formation. Volitional formation is a food. Volitional formation is a food. Volitional formation means the thoughts, intentions we produce, intention, the karma we do. That's another food to consciousness to exist. Not to consciousness, that's how we exist. The fourth food is called vijnana. Vijnana is a consciousness, is another food. Vijnane che bhikkhave sati. Vijnane che bhikkhave ahare attirago attinandi atitanna. Patititan tatta vijnanam virulham. Yatta patititan tatta vijnanam virulham. Attitatta namarupassa avakkanti. Yattatti namarupassa avakkanti. Attitatta sankharanam vutti. When we have attachment, happiness, and craving to consciousness, then consciousness going to establish. Patititan tatta vijnana. Consciousness going to establish, firmly exist. When consciousness establish and virul and keep going. When consciousness keep growing and then namarupas avakkanti, name and form is get into it, come into it. When name and form come into, then sankharanam buddhi and volitional formation is increasing. When volitional formations are increasing, then ayatim punabhava binibbati, again and rebirth happening. When again and again rebirth happening, then again and again death, grow old, ayatin jat jara marana, ayatin birth, again death, and again grow old and again death. Is keep continue. Right? So see, when you have a raga, attachment, nandi, happiness, and craving, even to the food, even to the contact, even to the volitional formation, and even to the consciousness, is the fuel. That's the food to existence. And Buddha said like that. This Buddha gave a simile. There's a tree, a huge tree. That tree exists. How that tree exists? And the roots of the tree going into the deep of the earth, right? Taking water, taking all the nutrients and bring them onto the tree. Then tree keep growing and giving flowers and giving fruits, right? The trees firmly exist, strongly exist because it take all the nutrients. Then when we give nutrition, and then consciousness firmly going to establish and keep growing. And also, and Buddha gave another simile, a young tree. Young tree. The young tree is just the little tree is keep growing because all the nutrition take from the earth and then tree keep growing. Then our consciousness keep growing with this fuel, with this food, with this food actually. Then after death, he is not yet born, then consciousness in this gap is exists because of the food. What are the food to the consciousness? Craving, right? Craving, clinging, attachment. And Buddha gave another simile to understand this is very clearly. In the Attiraga Sutta, and Buddha gave this sunrise from the east, right? Sunrise from the east, and there is a hole. There is a hole. There's a wall. There's a wall in the west side, right? The sunrise from the east. There's a hole. Have three walls. One is the west, one is north, one and south, right? When the sun rises, the sunlight is directly going and touching, falling onto a which wall? And Buddha asking, which wall? All three? Yeah, all three. But directly, the sun arises from the east, and that sunlight is directly going and falling onto west wall, right? West wall. And then monks replied, Bhante, the sunlight is falling onto west wall. And Buddha asked, if there are no walls over there? And they said, Bhante, then sunlight is going and falling onto earth. If there are no earth, and then monk said, Bhante, if there are no earth, then sunlight is going and falling onto water. You know this, the water is the, if no earth, there's water. Then Buddha asked, if there are no water, Bhante, then there are no place to light to fall, right? No. And Buddha said, likewise. Likewise is consciousness have always something to hold. Consciousness, the light is falling to wall. If there are no wall, fall into earth. If there are no earth, there are nothing to fall in, like a space. So the consciousness likewise is always falling into happiness, to desire, to clinging, to craving, to attachment. Then consciousness is exist because of there are something to hold it. If you're not clinging, no grasping, no craving, no attachment, then consciousness freed. Right?
Yeah.
And also
Yes,
another,
Bhante.
yeah, you have a question? Yeah, you can ask a question if you have now.
See. Is this like saying there's no, if
David,
we
do you
have no
a question? No. Okay. Say, Mike, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Is it like saying that if you have no self, there's no place for the craving to come? In other words, without a self, there's no, if we understand no self, impermanence, then there's no place for the craving to come? There's no possibility of craving if we understand that there's no self?
Yes. Yes. To understand no self, when we understand there are no self, then we freed already.
Well, then we're freed from craving. There's no place for the craving.
Right.
Think.
Yes. Yes.
Is that what we mean?
Because that means, yeah, Michael, go ahead.
Is that what we mean when we say that if there's no water and there's no land, the light can't settle anywhere?
Right. Right. The understand is non-self is always related with there are no I or my or myself. There are no I, then we understand there are no I. And there are no anything mine. And also no myself. Then consciousness already freed. To understand that, then we have to understand first is everything impermanent, temporary, arising and disappearing. And the whatever we think I and mine, and this is our ignorance. The consciousness exists. Now you know why consciousness exists, because of the fuel or food, right? Without fuel, no consciousness exists. Then it is not kind of this Vacha is always visited to monks, and he always talking about the soul, about the things soul, And in Buddhism, there are no about the accepting soul, and we just accepting consciousness. There are reasons to consciousness exist. So there's food to consciousness. There are no food, no consciousness. Then soul, whatever you talk about the soul, eternal entity, it is that's our ignorance.
Yeah. Yes.
And the Buddha always said the Sangyojaniyesu bhikkave dhammesu asadhanupassino viharato tanha pavaddati. In the Asuttavanta Sutta, we learned the last one week in the past. So when we always looking for the gratification, asadhanupassino viharato, we live in with seeing gratification. Only we seek gratification, satisfaction. We only see satisfaction. We only look in happiness and pleasure. We just think about the happiness and pleasure. We seeking happiness and pleasure. We just enjoying the gratification. Only that. Then tanha pavaddati. Then craving is growing. When craving growing, then clinging, grasping. When we grasp, then existence, then birth, then all grow old and die. So that is how it is happening. Then Buddha also said if someone not looking for gratification, but he uh, contemplating and meditating on danger of the attachment. When someone meditate to understand danger of the attachment, Sangyojana means bonds, tight attachment, whatever keep us tight to this, holding onto this things. When someone meditate on detachment or dangers of that attachment, then he not the craving not growing. When craving not growing, not grasping, not existence, not birth and grow or death or sorrow, lamentation, despair, displeasure, all the mass of suffering. Yes, a lot of teaching about suffering. I'm sorry about that, talking about those kind of things. But the
Sorry,
Buddhism,
God.
actually, Buddhism is the only Buddhism is the only thing talk about the happiness you can achieve.
Real
Happiness.
happy.
Yeah, this is the only. If you get rid of the suffering, what you remain? Happiness, right?
Yeah.
Happiness. So we are living with happiness and suffering. We experience in happiness and suffering. If you want to just only experience happiness, then get rid of the suffering, right? Now you have
Yeah.
to know why suffering arises. Suffering arises.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say that's happiness with a big H, not happiness with a little h.
Yeah.
It isn't the happiness of opposite to suffering. Like it isn't a delicious spaghetti dinner. That's not happiness. No, it's a different. It's the
Yeah.
overarching happiness that comes from including everything. I don't know how to say that. Okay, I give up.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
This one was a distinction between little happiness and big happiness, Buddhist understanding and temporal understanding, happiness. Yes.
Anyone have to share before we end the session? You can now share your intuition, your understanding, and our audience. What do you think? Any explanation? Okay.
Anyone who practices Mahayana Buddhism to read what we call the Platform Sutra of the Sixth Patriarch. That's if you read the Mahayana Sutras in Chinese. This is the topic of the Platform Sutra of the Sixth Patriarch.
Okay, it's good to end of this session.
Yes.
Okay. So practicing meditation and learning Dhamma and discussing Dhamma, and we accumulated so much merits. And we're going to share these good merits, good karma with our departed ones, with ghosts, with deities, and with all sentient beings. May they all have a happy destination. By the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, by the power of these all merits, and you may live happily, peacefully, without any afflictions, and finally may we all be able to attain to enlightenment. Akasatta Chibummatta Deva Naga Mahidika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkantu Sasanang Chirang Rakkantu Desanang Chirang Rakkantu Mang Parang Sabbhitiyo Vivajjantu Sabbarugo Vinasatu Mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Oh, thank you, Bhante.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a nice